Video content that is strong, brave, and bold. That's what Fordham Media means. We're going to talk with Chad this morning about video production and how it can make money for you. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
100,000 views on your video post recently. How did you do this, Chad? And welcome this morning to the show, Chad and Billy.
Thank you for having me. Well, yeah, I guess real quickly, bit of background, run a media production house. We spend a lot of time with real estate agents. That's where I met Mark. And slowly over the last 4 3/4 years, we've basically been tapping into all the different, I guess, channels and different types of videos and photos and all that jazz that you can do within a business. And I guess we had a little pre-conversation to this podcast, but there are many ways that it works.
Wow. You.
Pardon?
Say again?
Good morning to you, Billy Bob.
Yes, good morning. Chad, we're very excited to have you. We're a big fan of your work, so it's made sense to get you on this morning and see your take, the clients you're interacting with, and if you can give us any examples of how these clients are making money from video content, because there's a couple of different versions.
Yeah, awesome.
Before you start, Chad, I'd like to apologise for my title this morning, being called an influencer by Billy. I have no idea why he's done that, but it's slightly embarrassing.
Oh no, that's all right. I wasn't aware that you started Novak, so I thought I was talking to an influencer anyway. So we'll run with it. Yeah, look, Billy, I think one of the things that we've experienced over the last couple of years is obviously creatives aspire to create the most beautiful content, but what we focus on is the balance between what our clients actually need and what beautiful, incredible production is. So I think what we've really tried to master is that unique balance between the two. There's an opportunity to build brand and lead the market by creating really amazing videos that hours upon hours are spent in pre-planning, then producing, and then the post-production. But at the same time, what I've seen Novak do over the years, but at the same time, we have used a similar strategy, is utilizing more user-generated style content. So the individuals within a business or less produced content to go alongside that well-produced content as a consistency opportunity. And I think the one thing that we've seen to win overall is just consistency. So it's not just about the overly produced content or just the day-to-day content that you can create. It's about how consistent you can be, because the more videos you put out into the market at the moment, the more eyes are seeing your product, your service, or whatever you might be doing. And at the end of the day, it's all about, can you capture the attention of the people that you want to be speaking to? And through consistency, we've seen pretty much all of our clients be able to do that.
Yeah, it's exciting. Definitely is like it's definitely catching the eyeballs, that's for sure.
Appreciate it.
Question.
Yes.
Your clients that are most successful at penetration with their video content, what does that penetration look like? How do they do that? Because you're doing so much content for people out there. What is the content that just spins off and you're like, every time that client does something with me, it does well? What's the secret to the video content?
I think it's the thought behind what you're putting out there, because at the end of the day, the market, there are a lot of people putting pieces of content or videos into the market. And so it's about being different. It's about being opportunistic. It's about jumping onto trends and being seen in the same light that people want to consume your content. And I think that's the balance. So it's that in a unique situation where you're able to, as a company, invest in really well-produced content that speaks to those trends. We've seen that do really well. But at the same time, the cost or barrier to entry on a lower tier or lower scaled scale in terms of production piece of content. I think it's how do we be different to everyone that's working in our space, but at the same time, let's say we use real estate as an example. Everyone's selling homes or buying homes or renting homes, but what can we do and how do we latch onto trends that might be happening in other industries that it becomes more colloquial to the more, I guess, a broader market? And that's when you tend to capture more volume, more plays, more shares, whatever it might be, because it's more relatable. I think when you scroll through a house and you're just doing what every other agent might be doing, you very quickly lose whatever your personal brand equity is that you've built in, let's say for this example, Novak, or each of the individual agents that's underneath the brand, because if it's just a property video, it can be anyone's property video. So I think what we try and do is I ask all of my creatives is what's that 1 to 3 seconds within every single video that we produce at Fordham Media that's going to be different, that's going to provoke that attention, or connect to a trend or something that's happening in the, I guess, global atmosphere, to really bump up that volume.
I like that word, provoke.
Provoke.
You've got some big customers to qualify your Fordham and yourself. Who are some of your customers out there?
I mean, over the years, we've been lucky enough to work with some pretty amazing brands, of which most are still with us. Fordham seen me go over to New York to shoot campaigns with Foot Locker. We've done a lot of work with them here. We work with Under Armour. We've done some really awesome stuff with some of the biggest real estate agents around the world. We work with big hotels. So we worked with Capella in Sydney. We've just done an amazing shoot for Intercontinental. We travel down to Melbourne a lot for hotels in the Mornington Peninsula region. So we've done a lot of work across many industries. And I think the thing that keeps our big clients coming back for more is that we cross-pollinate what we see in one industry and bring it into theirs. So for example, the hotel industry is so used to having creatives or production houses or studios come in and just shoot because they're so used to shooting hotels. But what we do is we might shoot with Mercedes one week or a car company, and then we pull the transitions that we've used on fast cars into hotels, and the industry has never seen it. And I think that's the 1 to 3 seconds that provokes some form of, I guess, attention or comment or insight, or I guess it evokes some sort of emotion. And I think that's what we go for with everything that we do.
Yeah, it's amazing. Can I ask, what's the uptake been like year on year? Does it just get stronger and stronger and stronger across all different industries, or are you talking to more agents than ever before when it comes
I think the agents that know that, I think the agents that see value in the content, social media, brand play, we speak to more and more each year. I think at the beginning of Fordham, I would speak to absolutely anyone, but at the end of the day, I think now where we're best served is working with agents that understand the value. It doesn't mean that they can't be taught, and I can't show them the value through the results that we're getting with our clients. But right now, yes, it is. I guess the demand and want for our services is growing year on year. But at the same time, we're becoming more and more selective, because the more time that we can spend with agents that really want to go the extra mile, the easier it is for us to put really strong resources into what they do. And for us, that's not just about capturing real estate videos at a property. It's like sitting down, understanding where they're at, understanding where they want to go, pulling out and dissecting all of their target markets and how they want to speak to all the different, I guess, segments within their world, and then creating really targeted content around all of those areas or segments, so that when someone, for example, in DY looks up real estate agent, not only is it the time, years and years ago, you'd know that the more signboards you could put up everywhere, the better it would be. And that probably still stands. The more someone sees your name, the better it will be. But through really powerful content, you're basically doing that to thousands instead of the 100 cars that drive past it or 1,000 cars a day. You can do it to 10,000 people within a minute. It's just how you use the content as well. So it's more around the number and the volume of people that you can get this content out to. But as I said, yes, more and more agents are interested, but at the same time, we're kind of pulling back in a way to really focus on the agents that understand how, I guess, taking that macro magnifying glass and going, well, where are we now and where do we want to go? And then how do we get there? That's where we're seeing some really strong wins.
Yeah. You must be able to use your video content not only for good, but for evil as well. So has your Tinder profile got really good content?
I wish I could tell you that it did, but I'm actually not on any of the dating apps. But if I was, I would have our own content there for sure.
But just for the record, single and ready to mingle, ladies, if you're
Single,
interested, seven four two
single and
six
ready
seven
to
seven
mingle.
seven seven. Chat Cohen. Another thing as well, how do people with video content, and this is a terrifically hard question that nobody's been able to answer, but I'm interested to see how well you can answer this. If you can't, I get it. How do you measure the success of video content? Is it measured in dollars? Is it measured in how the person who paid for the video feels when they watch it, how the consumer feels when they watch it, impressions, views, likes, engagements? I don't know, but when someone does a video, how do you guys as a team with the customer go, we smashed that out of the ballpark? How do you
Yeah.
measure it?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's two sides. And to answer this question, I guess at a very high level, the reason why we evolved from just doing photo and video content to actually becoming more of a full scope, I hate the word agency, but agency, we call ourselves a creative powerhouse because I hate it so much. But the reason we evolved to having a paid ads digital team, social media team, a team that can do design, digital, all that sort of stuff, is to connect the dots between just what video does in terms of brand equity and building eyes and attention and engagement, to actually distributing that content and showcasing the results that come from it. And I think there's two parts or two sides to my answer to that question. One is if you're putting content out there organically, yes, you might see an increase in views, and that's what you want at the end of the day. Like if you it depends, right? More eyes on your content allows you access to more people. And if those people are your potential customers, then at the end of the day, you should make more money. However, I'm asked, like, Fordham has 7,800 followers on Instagram. People are like, you're getting way more views. The attention you're capturing is way higher. You've got hundreds, if not millions of views on your videos. Why is your follower count not up? The reality is if I message pretty much every one of those 7,800 people that do follow us, they could be potential clients. So it's that balance between like how many views and eyes do I actually want on my stuff and who are the views and eyes. And so I really believe that content, the success of content is twofold. I mean, there's many aspects to it, as you mentioned. It's like, how does someone feel when they watch the video? Either the person that paid for it or the people that are viewing it, more so the people that are viewing it. Two, does it build brand, what we would call brand equity? So are you taking your brand from where you're currently seen to where you want to go? And so that might be like, okay, we want to put out one professional team video a month because team's really important to us. But right now, no one knows who we are, right? So as a business, taking that step forward, there's value. So that's like building brand equity. And then what you're perceived to be in the market, you might find it easier to recruit because of this. You might also have more eyes on it because the people that are in the video are sharing it more. But then on the other side of it is, how do you as a business owner go, that made sense from a dollar for dollar perspective? And that's where the real power of social media, or the back end of paid advertising and the analytics on an organic side, really come into play. So we'll sit down with a client and we'll go, if it's a larger campaign and there's thought around who we're trying to target, why we're trying to target, what's the message of the video, what are we putting out there. We've just done a really amazing campaign that's going to come out at the beginning of next year with a really big real estate agent in the Shire. And the goals were very clear. It's like, this is who we're speaking to. First home buyers, this is how we're going to speak to them. This is what we're going to do. This is the target audience. This is the budget we're going to spend on it. And then we'll build out all the ad campaigns and we'll actually showcase, these are all the pieces of content that have gone into the ad campaign. This is the copy. These are the people in terms of demographics that have seen that video. And out the back of that, the goal was, we want first home buyers to contact us. So how many people clicked the button and called? And at the end of the day, if you're selling a property or buying a property, pending whatever your, I guess, desired result is, a phone call or a connection for $20, if we can get you that, is incredibly valuable. And that's where you can start speaking business owner to business owner, because the analytics that you can get on videos are so granular that you really can, if you're focused on what that end result is, you can get it.
I think we poked the bear, Billy.
That was very impressive. Very impressive.
Thanks.
It's a changing world out there, guys. Video content. Now, one more question for you. As a what did you call it yourselves? A powerhouse, a media powerhouse. Creative powerhouse. Are you a fan of the handheld video, or do you prefer just the stuff that just comes straight off the socials, or has it got to be done with a proper camera? What's your take?
No, I think I mean, a lot of studios or production houses will say that it's got to all be professional, but I don't believe that at all. I think there's value in both. I think you've got to be, I think, pending who you are and how you want to be perceived in the market, I think you do need a little bit of care around if you want to be seen as like, we'll use like real estate agents again as an example. But if you want to be perceived as premium or luxury, I still think there's room for handheld content. However, I think you need to be mindful of what your brand is and what you're trying to uphold in the market. So there's definitely room for it. I think it works really well. Sometimes it works better than really polished, amazing pre-produced and produced content. I think there's room for it. It's just a matter of deciding where to use it and how to use it, and does it fit within your brand. So walkthroughs at homes, Q&As with agents to give people a little bit of that organic culture feel for who you guys are, Q&As or testimonials with clients while you're on the go, I think really work. But at the same time, if you want to do more grand hero videos to build, as I said, brand equity, to kind of push you in the direction externally in the way in which you want to go, which I believe you need to be perceived in the market as professional, as aesthetically pleasing, as like being proactive, etc. I think that's really important. But in short, I do believe there is definitely a strong space for handheld video.
It's good. We couldn't agree more, Lisa Novak says.
Before we go, your message out there to people that are not doing video. Do you feel sad for them, happy for them? Probably a biased answer you're going to give us, probably a biased question I've asked, but tell us.
It's a deep sadness. No, I think the business that I had like 6-7 years ago before Fordham, that was what I guess provoked me to start Fordham. And that was because I had a watch business. I went from selling 1 watch a month to 200 watches a month. And it was through video content that allowed me to do that. And that's where the gateway kind of opened my eyes to what was possible if you are creating consistent video content. And so my recommendation is start yesterday. Even if you don't use us, start with a handheld camera. But it is really important. It's far exceeding the engagement, the attention, and photos they both play an important role. But video is definitely seeing all of our clients better results.
Lisa, I said a question before we go. This is a live show, guys, so if you've got any questions, throw them at us.
Video content
do you think raw video content watching on
maybe TikTok?
T22, we'll just go 22, etc., will take over good old television?
Good old TV. To be honest, like a lot of my friends, probably the generation younger than my sister, don't they scroll through TikTok and Reels all the time. That is literally where they learn. It's what they watch. I don't know if it'll ever take over TV, because I think like shows and things like that, I think it's quite a cultural thing, which is quite deep. But at the same time, like I know that a large proportion of my staff use TikTok to learn.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you're creating content that speaks to people and that's educational on TikTok, a lot of my staff are using it to learn. So what we're doing is like teaching people how to do what we do and all that sort of stuff to build, I guess, the brand equity that we want, which is creatives all around the world to see us as a powerhouse.
Lisa's always been avant-garde with her videos, so maybe you should tell your content guys to go onto Tutu. Check that out as well.
Maybe that's Lisa's new TikTok platform. It was like a subtle plug.
Probably. I think so. You look great in a tutu as well, guys. So thank you so much, Ed, for coming on and talking about your exposure and what you do with video. I think it's a completely different perspective. It's a massive industry that isn't. You guys are normally behind the cameras, not in front like today. So I really appreciate you coming in front of the camera.
Thanks a lot for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chad. Thanks, Mark.
Billy Drury, thank you for coming on as well and giving me the title of social media influencer.
You're very humble. Very humble.
Thanks, Billy. All right, guys, take care.
Ciao.
See you guys.
See ya.